Imagine trying to maneuver like a salted piece of glass the size of a minivan up a narrow flight of stairs.
Yeah, that's just a recipe for disaster.
Right. I mean, it's impossible. Physics usually just kind of ruins our home theater dreams. But welcome to today's deep dive. Our mission today is unpacking a product spec sheet from HDTVSupply. We really want to understand the clever engineering behind the Draper 254-216 profile plus fixed frame screen.
And, just setting the scale here for you, this is definitely not your standard television. We are looking at a 166-inch diagonal display.
Which is huge.
Oh, massive. Specifically, it's 65 by 152.75 inches.
Okay, let's unpack this because that is objectively absurd. I mean, we're talking about a screen nearly 13 feet wide.
Right.
So how do you physically get something that massive into a home theater or a church or, corporate training room without taking a wrecking ball to the wall?
Well, the secret is you don't move it as a 13-foot rigid rectangle. The screen actually ships completely unassembled.
Oh, so it comes in pieces.
Exactly. The framework itself is highly modular, really lightweight, and the viewing surface, which is this matte white XT1000V material, it attaches to the frame using a specialized sliding hook and loop system.
Okay, so it's essentially like building a ship in a bottle.
That is a great way to put it, yeah.
You bring it in pieces, you navigate the elevators in those tight corners, and then you just construct it inside the room. But I do have to push back here a little bit.
Sure, go ahead.
If you are snapping a giant screen together from a bunch of smaller parts, doesn't that sort of compromise the structural integrity?
I would think so, yeah.
Right, because keeping a 166-inch surface perfectly taut without a solid backing board sounds like an absolute nightmare for engineers. I mean, if the tension is off by even a fraction of an inch, the whole image just warps.
Oh, completely. It's a notoriously difficult engineering problem to solve.
So doesn't it just look like a giant jigsaw puzzle once it's actually up on the wall?
Well, no, and that is specifically why they utilized extruded aluminum baffles on all four sides. Extruded aluminum is, incredibly rigid, but still lightweight.
Like a frame.
Yeah, it acts almost like a giant embroidery hoop. By pairing that rigid aluminum with the sliding hook and loop system, the frame creates this dynamic, even tension across the entire perimeter.
Wow, okay.
Right, so it pulls the XT1000V fabric perfectly flat, ensuring it literally never bows in the middle or sags over time.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like stretching a camping tent over a flexible pole frame, where the surface tension actually provides the structural rigidity.
Exactly, you nailed it. And once it's fully assembled, the whole structure sits less than 2 inches deep from the wall.
Less than 2 inches. Wait, if there are no bulky bezels or borders holding the front of the screen to mask the edges, how does the image not bleed off the sides? Does it just look like a floating projection?
What's fascinating here is that zero edge or borderless design. Because the tension is handled entirely behind the screen by those baffles we talked about, the front is completely unencumbered.
Ah, I see. I'd imagine that lack of a frame, that mullion-less design, right, is basically the holy grail for commercial spaces.
It really is.
I mean, you could stack 3 of these side by side and effectively build a totally seamless 40-foot video wall.
Yes, and that is actually the primary use case for this architecture. You're creating an optically seamless framing system with zero visual separation between the panels.
That is wild.
And for anyone setting up a dedicated room, this is formulated for that ultra-wide 2.35 to 1 cinemascope aspect ratio.
Which is perfect for movies.
Absolutely. And because you're using that 1.0 gain XT1000V material, Draper managed to achieve perfect flatness on a modular frame without introducing any weird hotspots or color shifts.
So it looks completely uniform.
Right. That uniform light reflection, combined with the zero-edge design, actually tricks the human eye. It enhances the perceived contrast, making the image pop exactly like it would in a commercial cinema.
Which brings us to the bottom line here.
Yeah.
At a current price point of $4,016 on HDTVSupply, and that's the shipping with standard wall brackets, right?
Yeah, or flown brackets if you need to suspend it from the ceiling.
Right, so this isn't your casual consumer gear. We are talking about professional-grade immersion.
Totally. Whether you are outfitting a high-end corporate space or you're just dreaming of the ultimate home theater, the barrier to giant displays is no longer the size of your doorways.
You can actually get true cinematic scale into almost any room now.
Exactly, you just have to assemble it there.
Which leaves you with an interesting thought to chew on. If we can now build massive, borderless, perfectly seamless displays piece by piece inside any room, are we approaching a future where we stop hanging screens on our walls and instead our walls simply become the screens?